Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 485. I'm Lucas. I am joined tonight by Paul.
Hi.
And Phil.
Howdy.
And Anna.
Good evening.
You all seem, really excited to be here tonight.
Fine, let me try again. Good evening.
Dude, the 80s are back, man. Transformers, Top Gun, Kate Bush songs. Like, haven't you seen the news?
There we go. It's pretty exciting.
You got Optimus Prime Lego sets that are all the rage.
All the rage. The ragest.
Here I was thinking I was living in the 90s, going through Twister today.
Look at us. We got the sound working tonight and everything. So what do you know?
Good. We won't be held back by any twisters.
So
The cow just flies by Paul's camera.
That wouldn't be great.
No, it wouldn't be great.
So tonight we're talking about a little convention coming up here in a couple weeks. Finally, it's been 3 years in the making now. At this point, I think, or because of COVID, that we've canceled it a couple times here. So finally having it here. So how excited are you, Anna?
I'm excited. I look forward to it. It's always a lot of fun. It goes really fast and it's a great time at the TF-Expo.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Of course, we can also sprinkle in a little bit as far as other conventions that we're thinking about going. Since I've been trying to convince Phil and Paul to come down from Chicago, but it sounds like that you guys have prior plans that you won't be able to make it this year.
Sorry, there's some noise going on upstairs.
I mean, I was planning. I had my bags packed for the last one before it got canceled. So it's not it's just, this particular one, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. But I want to know all about it because I've never been, and it sounds like it's kind of an underappreciated, larger convention. Like, I go to DairyCon quite regularly, not religiously. I've missed them a few times, especially during COVID. But I have an imagination that this is like DairyCon times at least 4 or 5 on the organizational scale.
I've never been to DairyCon, so I can't really compare it. So yeah.
Does the structure you're in have insulation?
We usually try to have it in a hotel.
Well, then you got to lug up on DairyCon.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, DairyCon is fun. I don't want to disparage DairyCon and what it is and what it does, but it's in early spring in Wisconsin, and it's not always necessarily warm by then.
DairyCon is what it is. You have to go there to experience it before you can even try to understand or describe it. If you explain to what it actually is, it might sound like you're disparaging it, but you're not. It's just what DairyCon is.
Why is it called DairyCon? Do you know?
Because it's in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
It is smack in the middle of Wisconsin.
Fond du Lac. Put that in the spelling bee.
I remember I used to always see stuff about Jerry Con before I got into the actual, like, being on a podcast and going to Transformers shows and stuff. And I always thought it sounded so cool. And then I've heard more about it from you all, and I don't think I would like it as much.
It's fun. If you're looking to buy some stuff, there's a decent amount of vendors there. If you're looking to sell some stuff, you'll make a decent buck. But I mean, that's it. There's no artist alley creators really going on there. And when I say there's no artist alley, there's some local creators that kind of come out and do their thing there. But for the most part, it is just kind of like an old school toy show that's Transformer centric.
Yeah, and I think when you put the word con on the end of anything, there's a certain level of expectation that comes with it in most groups of people, and DairyCon doesn't have it. So, I just think a lot of people might be very disappointed if they really traveled. But if you can, if you know what you're getting into and you think it's worth it, it's awesome. Like, try to find videos or something. But I've never been to a Transformers Expo. So I'm curious to see what comes along with that set of letters put in that sequence.
Well, I would assume that, and again, I was not with the original group. So TF-Expo started in Wichita. Well, it's been over 10 years now at this point. But I think it was 2009, I think, when it first started. And, a group of friends got together, but I'd assume that they, I think TFCon may have already been used at the point. So yeah, TF-Expo is kind of the, the name of the game. So I got involved. I started going to the shows, probably about 6 years ago or so, and then I got involved when we moved to Kansas City here a few years ago. So in the first year in Kansas City, we had it. The hotel did not really work out. It was not a great hotel, so we moved it to a different hotel in Kansas. Well, it's actually outside of Kansas City. Now it's in Independence, Missouri, but it's Kansas City. It's like 5 minutes down the road from Kansas City.
It's like St. Charles in Chicago, right?
Right.
Or Rosemont in Chicago.
Rosemont, yeah. So, but the hotel is actually really nice. It's a more of a local Midwest chain, Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center. So I don't know if you've heard of those before, but it's a pretty nice hotel chain.
It's a really nice hotel chain.
Well, if it's a conference center, then it sounds like it is the right place.
Yep. So
yeah, it's a really good fit. I really like this location. Last year we went to it.
Yeah, there is a lot of space, with the conference center. So it's pretty nice. We're able to pretty much rent out the whole thing. For the show, and that was one of the issues that we had a few years ago with the hotel, is they overbooked us with another show at the same time, and they moved us down to the basement at the last minute, and it was a nightmare. So this is much nicer. So
that first TFCon in Chicago kind of ended up like that. At the hotel, put them in the basement, and there was a Supernatural con going on above, which was clearly far better attended by a broader group of people. And everything was, the whole TFCon was in the basement, and it totally sucked. You could touch the ceiling with your hand,
Yeah.
I mean, the show was fine, but it didn't feel great. But then the next year we got the Supernatural con space, and now they've moved. Now that anytime they do TFCon Chicago, it's in a different hotel now.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one it is now, Phil?
Continental? Is that it? I can picture it in my head. It's got the Caddyshack bar in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice accessible location for TFCon Chicago. This is the third year they're going to have it at this location, but actually only the second year where it actually will take place, assuming it does, because 2 years ago it was canceled due to COVID. So it's not as new or as nice of a hotel as TFCon Baltimore was. The hotel we had in Baltimore was a lot nicer and newer. But the one in Rosemont is decent. And again, if you're flying in, it's really, really easy to get to from O'Hare.
It's also easy to load into because it's all on the first floor.
Yeah,
there's something to be said about that.
That's one of the nice things about Expo at the hotel. There is they have the loading zone or whatever is pretty easy to get right into the ballroom. So I think the vendors probably appreciated that. And there's not like I don't know. I know like in Chicago, some of those loading docks that they have for getting in and some of those city ones, it's pretty kind of tough to get in. But like this, it's really easy. It's just kind of like on the other side. So from that standpoint, it's pretty nice. So, but yeah, so TF-Expo is coming up on July 1st and 2nd. So it's Friday and Saturday. So typically the way that the show works is, and the schedule should be posted here pretty soon. But usually they do the custom class on Friday, but the vendors will set up on Friday. And then the thing that's a little bit different compared to TFCon is that you actually like open up the vendor room on Friday night. So usually like we run the vendor room for a couple hours. So that's really nice because, the crazies can kind of get in there and, get first crack at all the fresh merchandise.
So is it Sunday as well?
No, just Friday and Saturday.
Just 2 days. Okay.
It's just one of those things where we've done it on Saturday and Sunday in the past, and it just didn't work out as well. And just kind of feedback that people had that Friday and Saturday worked better. People can kind of come in Friday night, hit up the the vendor room. And then usually like we'll do like a trivia type of event like after the vendor room closes on Friday night, like at the hotel bar. Do like Transformers trivia. So I believe we should be doing that again this year. So, and I think that there's like Transformers Against Humanity kind of game as well that we play after after the kids go to bed kind of thing. So that should be fun too.
So what other festivities do you guys have set up for the TF-Expo?
So that's Friday, and then Saturday, pretty much the dealer room is open all day Saturday, and so it's essentially the same kind of deal as like TFCon or whatever, where there's a slate of various panels from the featured guests, and then also trying to think
Dunk Tank
going on.
I would say Saturday runs more or less identical to how TFCon runs. Only difference being the dinner.
Yeah. So the one thing that's a little bit different, and I don't know if BotCon used to do this, where there's a dinner with our featured guests. So people have an opportunity. There's a couple of different packages that you can buy to attend the dinner. So that is a premium option to do that. So you can either pay to have dinner with the guests, or you can just pay to go to the dinner itself. And usually we do like a script reading or some type of reading at the time. So
how do you who comes up with like, if there's a script reading, like who comes up with that? Is that all like new to the, like unique to the event?
So we have done that in the past, and I'm actually have not been involved with the script reading for this year, so I'm not sure what's planned. But usually we try to make it unique to the show. So we have some people that they'll write it, or we will. We've had contests in the past where had people like win a dinner to if they won the script reading contest or writing contest.
Yeah, that was really fun, honestly, because you got a fan written script by someone in the audience who got to sit there and be all excited as the voice actors read their script and everything. It was cute to watch.
Yeah, and
It
it
was
actually
nice.
turned out pretty well. Sometimes you hear that you're like, oh, is it actually going to be good? But yeah, like it's not bad. It's fun.
And the voice actors are professionals, right? Like they will make it
Right.
funny, right? Like if it's not very good, they will still make it funny and they will still have a good time doing it and play around with each other. So I think it's a great experience. I love it. It's super fun to do. And it's kind of cool as a last event because it's really relaxed for attendees. Like you're tired at the end of a convention. Everyone's tired at the end of a convention, whether they're attending or vending or whatever. And the whole audience just gets to sit at tables and eat a banquet style meal and listen to voice actors read scripts and the staff do different events and charity raffles and stuff like that. It's just relaxing, right? Because I don't have to get up or move or really talk to people during that time.
Well, and that's one of the things, like, I've always pushed to continue doing the dinner. I know we've always kind of debated whether or not to continue doing it or not, and, like, what the feedback is, what people have thought about it. I've always really enjoyed it because it's something that is unique, like, that I didn't go to the old BotCons myself. And so, like, just to have something that's a little bit different from TFCon. And then it's kind of a setting too, like, especially if you buy the package where you get to sit with the actors too. Like you just don't really, it's not the same as, when you're interacting with them at the show. Like it's a lot more relaxed and, all that type of thing. So I've always thought it's like really fun, kind of experience that, I don't know. To me, it's worth the money, for myself. So, but
yeah, it's weird because that's not something you see at anime conventions. Like I've gone to many, many anime conventions, and there's no like dinners like that. It's actually something you see at doll conventions. I used to go to doll conventions as well, and there would always be an end of show banquet type deal with giveaways and raffles and reveals and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a takeaway from a different kind of show that I really think is a cool thing to have at the end.
Yeah. At first, Dan, I thought you were going to say there were doll voice actors after the doll convention, and that creeped me out.
No, artists come, not voice actors.
Okay. Jane did the voice of the Little Miss Susie when you pull the string.
I love you.
I was going to say too.
Love you.
Wow. Well, there you go, Anna. Maybe that's what we could do the theme next year.
I have a slight feeling they don't know the kind of doll conventions I used to go to.
Don't turn off the lights.
Those kind.
You can talk over me laughing.
But it's fun to watch.
But yeah, I mean, the one thing I was gonna say too is that I feel like for the most part, most of this stuff is reasonably priced comparative to other shows. I know a lot of, I don't know, like I know the Planet Comic Con and some of those, like the prices just keep going up and up and up. And even when they bring in some of the big name guys where some of those bigger packages are hundreds of dollars just for autographs and photos and everything. So like we tried to keep the prices, consistent with what it was a few years ago. So.
And it's a really good opportunity to see those guests because, yeah, like TFCon, the last one in California, it had like a bazillion million guests. And I'm sure there were always lines and they were busy and they were doing all sorts of stuff. But at Expo, they do like a panel or two and mostly just hang out at their tables and they're not super busy. So you would realistically get the chance to really talk to them if you went up and bought something, which is really cool. Just to have that kind of, even if it's, 20 intimate moments of getting to talk to some voice actor or something, it's something you don't get at the big shows because they're so busy at those big shows.
So
or if you do, you gotta pay arm and a leg for that.
One thing I'll say, a pro tip, if you're going to TFCon, if they're the actor that you want to see is available on both Saturday and Sunday, try to do it on Sunday. Like I feel like that a lot of times, like they have a line out the door on Saturday, but then by Sunday afternoon, like you can go, hang out and actually have a decent conversation with them.
Because Transformers fans have this horrible doorbuster mentality. Like, we can't help ourselves. Whenever there's something, we think we have to be the first in line. We have to get there 6 hours early and get one of the only 3 of it. And yeah, so you benefit by waiting. Patience.
I will say one thing that you want to be an early bird on is if you are into getting art. I don't know how it is at TF-Expo, but at TFCon, if they're, they get some big name, Transformers comic book artists there. And if you want a piece of original art, that is something you probably even want to schedule before the convention starts. You're going to want to find out where that artist is on social media, how they set up their commission list, and get that all in place. Because if you wait till the convention itself, they're probably already booked in terms of, they only have so many hours for that weekend that they can do a piece. Now, you might be able to work out a deal to do a piece after the convention and mail it to you, but, most people enjoy getting the piece right there at the show. And, so that is something that I would say for artists, for commission pieces, get that done sooner rather than later. But yeah, I echo the point about the voice actors.
So I know Zaldron was asking if Casey was going to be there this year. Unfortunately, he won't be there this year. So we were going to have one of the artists that we were going to have, unfortunately, couldn't make it. This year. So Damon Batt, who has done the art for our show for the last few years, was going to be one of the artists there, but then he ended up having pre-engagement, so he couldn't make it this year. So unfortunately, so the guest this year, so Jim Sorensen is one of the guests. So he kind of takes the place of the artist a little bit, but he did the history of Transformers and book, and he's done several different books. So he's gonna be one of our guests at the show. So
it's a good get.
Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy and very knowledgeable. Again with the process. So, and he's going to do a couple panels himself. So, but
Lucas only likes to hang out with you if you're a Transformers fan who's written a Transformers book.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Do I need to write a book? Ugh, I don't want to write a book.
Sorry, Anna.
I said likes to hang out with you.
Oh yeah, he's inflicted with me because we live close to each other. It's true.
So.
It sounds to me like so you didn't start this. This has been going for 10 years. So this was
right.
This started back in 2010-ish, right?
It was 2009. It was going to be the 10-year anniversary in 2010. It was going to be the 10-year anniversary in 2020 when COVID hit. And then we've been delayed for 2 years now just because think it flared up again last summer, and so decided to not do it, and then we pushed it until this year. And part of the thing with that too is just a lot of the guests that we have. We usually try to focus on some older, like G1 voice actors and things like that, and we just would hate to expose them to COVID and whatever. So.
So did the guys that did start this, were they kind of BotCon attendees as far as you know?
Yeah. So they did that, and they wanted to start their own convention, more in the central U.S. that, again, it was in Wichita, local show, moving to Kansas City. So.
Well, it just seems to me like a lot of these kind of traditions and events that you guys carry on with are very derived from some of the style of the original BotCon shows that I attended. Some of those, like the dinner and the way the packages sort of were set up, and some of the kind of the participation events. They used to do. There was a lot of things that you wouldn't see that would be there and happen that wouldn't be in the photos if you hadn't been at the event, like the casino night and like bingo and like the auction and all sorts of these crazy things that you could like walk away with tons of awesome, really expensive product for super cheap, or just have a good time, not buying something. You could actually just enjoy. It was sort of to build camaraderie, I guess, amongst the attendees, and that kind of. I don't feel like there's a ton of that at TFCon. I think they've kind of like said, we don't care about that part of I don't know, convention going. It sounds like you guys kind of holding that torch, which I think is cool.
Right.
Yeah, TFCon honestly feels very hands off. Like, it doesn't really feel like you interact with very much there, other than the dealer's room, and you set at panels, but you don't really interact with things there. I feel like at Expo, like, no one's pretentious, no one's like above talking to you or anything, like everything's interactive, everyone's fun. I like the way it turns out. Not that I don't like TFCon. I love TFCon, but Expo's its own thing. It's fun.
I mean,
they're different. They're nuanced.
That's the thing I think is kind of unique is again, TF-Expo's like you said, kind of captures that old BotCon from years and years ago when it was a really small show. So, and yeah, it's definitely a smaller show. So that's kind of the niche of the, of the event, is that you still get that experience of having voice acting guests and writers and panels and all these events and things like that, but it's not overwhelming where, it's going to be, thousands of people or whatever at the show. So.
And one thing I'll say for the length is I feel like a lot of small conventions tend to overstay their welcome because they try to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And by the time you get to Sunday, there's nothing left to do. The events aren't very good. The dealer's room you've gone through 600 times and it's like 4 vendors. And I feel like, a small con like TF-Expo is good for being really just the one big day and a preview night. Like, that amount of time is enough time to really enjoy it and not get tired of it. Because, the dealer's room's not as big as Anime Central or even TFCon. You don't have a room that's going to take you hours and hours to go through. It'll take you a couple hours to go through. So I think it's nice that I think the length works really well for it myself. It's kind of in favor.
Yeah, and I think, with the vendor room, I think it's still pretty good. We have a pretty good mix of vendors. A few of the guys that do some of the local shows and Transformers shows as well. So there's usually a mix of, old product, vintage product and new product, and then like some third party stuff. I mean, is just like you never know what's going to show up at the show. So the main thing is we do try to, make it more focused on Transformers. So not to say that vendors won't have other stuff, but it's really more of a, like, we ask them that they have at least over half Transformers merchandise.
Yeah, the vendors are good. There's a lot of new items. There's a lot of used items. You do get a good variety of used items at the show, which is cool. You get some People Brady and G1 stuff and older figures for you to root through. And that's always fun to do. But then it's also fun just to see like the newest, coolest thing up on a shelf for you to buy. And that's there too. So I think it's nice.
So let's continue on that subject of toys, because that's what we're all about, is toys. Can you get exclusive toys at TF-Expo?
Can.
We can get some exclusive toys at TF-Expo. So, so far they've only announced the custom class figure, which was where we're calling her Pre-Lita. So it was kind of a riff on Ariel before she was Alita 1. So that should be a pretty fun figure. And then we have a couple more reveals here. We've got one actually I'm ready to reveal tonight. And then
No way!
I have another one. So
Are you revealing it on the show?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, before we get to that, Anna, you said you have some previous year's exclusives. Do you mind showing some of those to show what some of the exclusives in the previous years attendees could have picked up?
Yeah, and what I want to say about like the TF-Expo exclusives that I've gotten, like I've seen a lot of the other ones, and like I like mine best. I think I got some really cool ones from the year that I picked up all the exclusives, but like they have a lot of like work put into them and a lot of heart put into them. So I really like the way they come out. Like, it was 18 because the license plate sticker says TF-Expo 18, but my camera hates it. But like the year they had, you had Dan Gilvezan that year, right?
Yeah.
With the Bumblebee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything was Bumblebee themed. And they had this like nice little knockoff number with TF-Expo stickers on it and some stickers on the back and the license plate sticker. And he's got one on his chest too, and he's in robot mode. And that's a cute little piece that was relatively cheap to get. Then there was also what I thought was really cool was this custom painted Action Master, or not Action Master, but Pretender Bumblebee shell that they made, which was really cool. It also came with a 3D printed Bumblebee headmaster, which I seem to have put somewhere else in the house. However, I still have the shell. The shell looks pretty damn cool the way they did it, so I like that a lot. And it's like this is hand painted by people there, so it's neat to me to kind of have that piece. It's not like a company putting out a recolor. It's them actually making something neat for us to have. So I think it's neat. And then I also have this little Target Master with a 3D printed barrel that makes it into a little Target Master style shockwave type deal, which I think is really cool as well. And it even has a peg for blast effects. So that was actually new at the time, right? Blast effects were like, they had just happened, I think, for the first time. So that was cool to have. And finally, I also have one of the from that year, and this one isn't quite holding us together as well, but this was the custom class from that year, which was the Moss Toys Skiff painted up as, or not painted up, but stickered up. Like this was all a sticker set. It was stickered into a weird Cybertronian Cheetor type deal, which I adore this thing because it is just like, it's very well stickered, and it's got the little mouth on the front of it, also on his crotch, which is funny, and it's got the eyes and the logo, and I just really think it's super cool. And again, this is all hand work of the people who put the show on, so I think it's really neat that they produce these things And they're nice. Like I put them on my shelf with everything else. I think they look super cool.
So what's like a production run on those?
Yeah, what is the production run size?
They're usually pretty limited. So I don't know for sure.
We're talking like
it just
10?
So yeah, I mean it would be pretty low. It would be something like 20 or 30 or something like that. Just depends.
That's a lot. Be you me. That's a lot of work. 30 of anything. Doesn't matter how many paint apps it has.
The gentleman that usually does that curses us every year, and so then like it takes him about a year to get over it, and then get on board for the next year. So,
well, there's nothing better than when it's done, because you're just like, oh my god, I did it. So like, right. And then people enjoy it. That's super awesome.
Yeah. So and usually, so cool. What we usually do with that is like, so the sticker sets we've partnered in the past with Toy Hacks on those, and then the like the designs. So I mean, year to year it may change, but we've partnered the last several years with Trent Troop for him to design those, and we get them 3D printed for. But then like you said, there's a lot of work that goes in with that, because like when you 3D print something, it doesn't turn out perfect. Like you have to, there's a lot of sanding and things like that to kind of get things right, painting. So
you lead the charge on that, right? You're in the workshop.
No, that is not my gig at all. So I really appreciate shout out to Craig for doing all that. So he's the one that kind of leads the charge for us, and curses us as all for doing it. So,
but it's all super cool. Like I love this stuff. It's just so personalized. It's fun.
Yeah, we usually always try to match it up with like the guests that are coming to. Like when we had Greg Berger for Grimlock, we did a Grimlock crown, but we did it actually to look like the Royals logo. And I wish that I had it with me, and I was not prepared tonight, so I don't have my exclusives. But and then Paul Eiding, like we did one where some like test tube vials for Perceptor and whatnot. So, but. All right, well, did you guys want to see the exclusive for this year?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be the MacGuffin key. Let's see if I can you see it there on this? Well, I guess you guys can't see it on the screen probably, but
nope. You go to YouTube.
If you're watching the podcast, you should be able to see it. So
that's why none of us are excited. We see nothing.
Did you turn your secondary camera
on? No, it's actually a picture. So I don't have the exclusives. Like I said, I don't work on these. So it is a picture. I guess I could share it in the chat.
That is cool. So what's does it glow? Like what's the purple?
One of them glows. So the purple one does. So
nice.
This is an homage to the key to the plasma energy chamber. It is only available to the premium and ultra packages. So those are the ones that do the dinners as well. So again, this is very exclusive. The premiums get the black key, and the ultras get the activated purple glow in the dark key. So this is the purple one. It's special glow in the dark paint that is charged by UV rays. So
damn, so
mildly radioactive.
So to like go 100% on TF-Expo this year, you have to get 2 different packages. Wow.
No. Like, sorry, if you do the ultra, you get. I believe you get both.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably be saying that wrong. Shoot, hold on. Let me double check that because I can't remember. I believe the ultras get both.
Well, you better fact check on the website before you go scrambling.
Before I say that here, right?
That looks like it's Is that
No,
molded?
I do
Like,
apologize. You only the ultras only get I'm sure we could probably work something out, but like if you really wanted both, but yeah, you only get one MacGuffin key, not both. So
I want the glowing one.
well, you can get an ultra package and come down, Paul. And then as a bonus, you get dinner and you get to sit with a voice actor as well.
But I just
And
want to sit with you.
MacGuffin key.
I was gonna say you can pay extra and sit with me instead, Paul.
There you go.
Thank you.
You get to audit one of Anna's classes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll be
that's so
doing classwork while we're eating.
I would be so scared if any of you ever audited one of my classes. Don't do that.
The look of terror on your face, I did not anticipate, but I'm amused by it.
So anyway, back to the convention talk.
Yes. So I don't know also if we've mentioned the actual guests for this year.
Not yet.
Our voice acting guest is David Sobolov.
He's from the films, right?
Yeah, so he was from the films, and then also I'll pull up my stuff here. What was it? Transformers Prime as well, right? Yeah, he was the voice of Blitzwing in the Bumblebee movie. He was Depth Charge in Beast Wars and Shockwave in Transformers Prime.
Nice.
Oh, Ron says apparently he wants to sit with me as well. So there you go.
I'll see.
We don't have a package for that, Ron. I'm sorry.
It's crazy that he's been in Transformers that long and like spanning so many like eras. That's crazy.
Yeah, probably has some cool stories. What other guests should we look forward to, Lucas?
And then I had mentioned Jim Sorensen before, and then Flint Dilley is also a featured guest, so that should be a lot of fun.
Okay, I'd have dinner with Flint.
Right?
Like, that would be a table. I wouldn't say much. I'd be like, go, stop, talk, please. I'll listen to anything you say.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see him talk because he can tell some stories.
I don't know that I've really heard him talk at length before. I feel like all the shows, like I've just never, been able to go to. So I'm actually pretty excited to hear some of his stories.
Yeah, he's just so laid back. You never know what'll set him off, like onto a really crazy, like, storyline of memory. I think just like he doesn't know what will trigger like thoughts in his head that pulls out this ancient story that he's just remembering for the first time, as he's telling it to you. So that should be a lot of fun. Those are two good guests.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, we actually had to wait to announce it as well because unfortunately our original guest that we were going to have as a voice actor, Stephen Keener, passed away this year. So we were really excited to do kind of a headmaster thing with him and Flint, but yeah, so. But we are excited for David though, so.
Oh, it sounds like a fun weekend.
Yeah.
It definitely will be.
Road trip from Chicago.
It's not too far.
How far is it from
8
Chicago,
hours.
Lucas? You've done it. 8 hours? Okay.
8 hours.
It's 8 hours.
Yeah.
Just did it a while ago myself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be there as a vendor, guys. You guys should come check out your favorite vendor, Anna.
I'm really curious to see what Anna sells at her booth. Like, what are the Anna rejects?
Yeah, is it gonna be all that stuff in the bin you got from that guy?
No, it's gonna be like the high end, like fans, toys, and MPs.
It's gonna
like,
be all
like
the stuff you guys have on the shelves. Yeah.
Yes.
So you'll be making money hand over fist.
And
so
like,
far, it's a lot of MP stuff and premium mainline stuff that just isn't amusing to me anymore.
Yeah, none of that high end crap. You need to get the like Sir Toys knockoff box.
Yeah, you're not getting my weird ass transforming hamburger I have over there. That is mine forever.
Like a life-size Burgertron.
It is. It's big enough for Scorponok to eat. It's cool. He can hold it in his hand and be like, ah.
Apparently, Zaldron just noticed that I have stuff behind me again. So there you go. I did it just for you, Zaldron, so you guys wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I noticed that
most
too,
of the podcast he just spends on dressing you with his eyes.
So, yeah.
Anna,
can you autograph some of the toys that you sell? Like you're like, oh, I did a review of this on Microcasters that Lucas forced me to buy it, and then decided I didn't want it afterwards. So
you could actually pay me not to sign it. That way, I won't reduce the value.
I got a decent deal on my MP Wheeljack because Ryan from Sabertron used it in one of his photo sessions.
I thought that made it worth more.
You know, I don't know. It was gently used.
There you go. That's exciting. So.
Well, yeah, this sounds dope. I wish it was in the cards for me to go, because I would definitely go.
That's all right.
But it's not this time.
Yeah, I know the timing can be kind of tough for people, with it being right before the 4th of July weekend and everything. So, but this is kind of the way that the timing worked out with everything. So.
Well, yeah, it's really just the travel for me. If it was in my backyard, like I would totally spend the pre-4th of July days hanging out at this. Like that would be great.
Yeah, I'm kind of
a trip right there. 8 hours, that's nothing.
I'm somewhat not looking forward to having to recharge afterwards and immediately go see family on Sunday.
So yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a slate of conventions again. I know last year we kind of talked about, would TFCon happen or not? And we had TFCon. Did we have TFCon Toronto last year? Did that take place?
I think so.
No, I think that TFCon, or no, it happened in December, right?
Okay, yeah. But yeah, we had TFCon Baltimore last year, and that sort of kicked things off. And for those folks who went to that, it was a really hopping show for the sellers, especially. That was a fun time. And then, I don't know if I heard anything out of TFCon Toronto, but TFCon Los Angeles, Catherine came on and did the episode with us, and that guest list was insane. The guest list for the upcoming TFCon Toronto looks really, really good. And hopefully then we'll start getting news about TFCon Chicago. BotCon is not what it used to be, but it's back in a new form. So there's a big, wide selection of Transformers conventions you can hit up in 2022.
Here, guys, I can sell this at the con.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I've
Is that
actually
a
never
rat
played
bat
with
that ate
the.
too many blueberries?
Yeah, I've actually never played with the G1 Rat Bat, so I had to look up where his accessories went because I never played with one.
Where else
Yeah,
would
I
they
have
How
the-
go?
oversized is that?
Oh, it is huge. It is
Yeah.
massive. I have nothing normal on my desk. Everything I have is either oversized or here. The Target Master
Okay.
with it.
I was like, wait, is that oversized or does Anna just have really tiny hands?
No, this is absolutely massive. This is a very, very large rat bat.
Yeah. Now I feel like that's something that would be something up your alley. Why are you selling that?
I'm not. It was a joke.
Oh.
It was just what was on
Oh.
my floor. Like, it was the only KO within reach.
Oh boy.
I had to go with what I had.
Have you sold any knockoffs or just like do you
I'm
only
not
sell
allowed to tell that
official?
story, am I, Lucas?
Oh God. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go into that. But like your weird stuff, those knockoffs. So like you've never sold any of those, right?
Not usually, no, because I like it and I keep it. There'll be a few weird things. I'll be selling some knockoff Target roids, those TFC Target roids I got that were knockoffs. Those are so terrible. I'm going to actually get rid of them.
Wow.
They're out there. Yeah, they just don't do much for me. But there'll be a few other things there. But it'll all be labeled politely, and it'll mostly be good stuff that I just don't want.
You ever had a musical guest?
I don't believe so. No, people have requested to have like the Cybertronian spree there, but that's not quite in the cards. It's a little expensive to get them to come down. Were you wanting to be the musical guest there, Paul?
Oh, sure. I'll just come down, pop a squat,
featured.
Sing Lesbian Seagull all day. I'd like at the entrance, like put a little stage up on the entrance, and I'll just serenade people as they come in.
That sounds great.
Might keep people away.
There you go.
But that might not be good.
I thought Potbelly had exclusive rights to your performances.
Well, it's only in Illinois.
Okay.
Across the border, the laws are different.
It's true.
Yeah, and we could always go to Kansas and then across another state if my problems follow me to Missouri.
There you go.
I've heard there's things to do in Kansas as well if you come to the convention. I've heard people like to visit here sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but other people like it.
So, there's some breweries. There's an art museum.
There's a really good art museum. I will always. It's a bit of a drive from the convention site, but it's a really good art museum.
What would you describe as a bit of a drive?
It's like
More than 5 minutes. I actually
Lucas,
don't know how far it is.
I think it's probably like 20 minutes or so from the hotel.
Is it always that far?
That's nothing.
I guess it's equidistant from my house then, because the hotel is 40 minutes from my house. But then,
yeah, but don't become one of those. You don't need any off-site cultural events. That's when Transformers conventions start going a little off the rails. Like, we're gonna go to the zoo. Like, no one wants to do that. Like,
we always did that at doll conventions. That was always the thing. It was always go to a place and then do like photo shoots at like a zoo or a botanical garden.
Oh, but like with the dolls.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, but that's not. It's that I
never like Transformers to go for a photo shoot at the zoo. Get your Optimus Primal to pose with the gorillas.
Sure, but like that's the one thing about BotCon that always like made me like kind of like turn my head up was like there were these sort of family centric events because there's like this contingent of people that this is their family vacation is going to the the Transformers event in another city, and like that's an excuse to travel. So like, I think in the Chicago one, you could they actually were busing people downtown to go on like the Untouchables tour or something, which like had to have been the biggest waste of time and money of all time. And that's cool if you want to go do something like cultural, like great. But like I just don't. I think it's kind of bad when the convention like tries to put that on as a thing like that. I don't know. It never appealed to me. If it appeals to you, listener, then I clearly there's a disconnect from my experience to yours. Like it's okay if that's fun, but I've never seen the allure.
I think when it was at like Los Angeles or Florida, and you had Universal Studios there with Transformers themed activities to do, that makes sense. When you're doing a Chicago gangster tour that you have to go from St. Charles to Chicago, which is a good 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending upon the time of day you go, that is not worth it.
No.
Yeah, I think that if you can like link it to the show somehow, like some type of event, I think it makes sense. But yeah, like for the most part, I don't know. And you know, for me, I feel like I'm always spending so much time at the show just with friends and whatever that it's hard for me to actually go do sightseeing around the city. So
wasn't there like a bourbon tour or something when it was in Louisville? At BotCon? Well, I mean, it does, but like, I like to get drunk after the show, not like before or during. So, not so much. So I don't know. I'm pointing out. I never understood that part of conventions, and I'd love to hear like why the perspective from someone that was like, oh, well, this is why that's a great opportunity at a convention. Like that is not why I ever go. I go there strictly for toy stuff, and I want as much as I can in the allotted time that I'm there.
I mean,
but Paul, go ahead, Lucas.
Oh, I was gonna say, I know a couple years ago when they had the first TFCon LA, it was over spring break, and I managed to convince my family to do a Disney trip. So we did Disney trip first, and then we did the show after that. And but my family didn't really do the show. It was just kind of like they were there while I happened to be there. So
yeah, you conned them into that one, didn't you?
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, we're here for Disney. Oh, you know what? This coming Saturday, I'm gonna disappear for like 8 hours. Is that okay? Right. I'll be back. I promise.
I conned them.
What if they did like a local toy store tour? Wouldn't that be like the dorkiest thing?
I mean, that'd be cool as long as it's like, you know, if it's a Friday, Saturday thing and Friday's preview night, I'd want to do that Friday morning-ish afternoon or even Thursday. Like, I don't know if people, you got to have a certain caliber of show for people to come like days early, I think. But really, those toy stores should just become, you know, they should be involved.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think really you'd want to feature like a store that's not going to be involved with your show.
No.
And then
unless you did it on Sunday after the show. So it's like if you missed something, go.
Right. But I would think then you'd want to entice them to be a vendor at the show.
Yeah.
Or if they had like some sort of Transformers-centric display up, you know, like maybe not a for sale thing, but like an art show, or, you know, if there was like a toy museum, I'm making this up, but like if there was a toy museum that had like a crazy history of Transformers thing, like that would be, you know, worth.
That'd be worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
This theoretical toy musium
that happens to be right next to the hotel, you know, like.
Yeah, it has to be close.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel like for the most part we do a pretty decent job of having a Transformers toy museum in the vendor room, you know, like with all the stuff. So
I think that's one thing that folks fail to realize with some of these conventions, especially when you're talking about a bigger city like Chicago, is that most conventions are going to be near an airport, which oftentimes means you're not going to be near the actual metropolitan hub. where the stores would be or the museums are going to be and that sort of thing. So that's where it gets sort of tricky in terms of trying to organize all that stuff as well.
Yep.
But Paul, to your point earlier, you did say, you know, how BotCon was a show that tried to offer more things that weren't at a typical convention to build up that sense of community. So doing those trips is probably just another aspect of that.
It certainly is. I took all those aspects and I chopped off that bit. Like I loved all the other ones and didn't. That's the one piece of it that I still don't understand. Just because I wasn't there at the very beginning of BotCon, you know. So like that, I think if you like the community for me built after I started going to the shows and seeing what they were about, and then started building the community, and then the show stopped. So maybe I missed that part. There's one more piece of conventions that I think has really been forgotten, and it's what I would like to see at more conventions. And it's not more vendors, but it's like dealer room displays of like notable collectors, or like a notable collection that the only reason it's there is to just sit there and look at it. Like it's not for sale. That used to be something that like I would see that a few times at BotCon. Like at there was one, I think the first one the one in Dallas. There was someone that was there, and all they did was they just had a table and had every single mini-con ever on the table. And like, you know, I wouldn't want to pay if I had something notable to display like that. I wouldn't want to pay money to like have a vendor table to just show stuff off. I'd want to almost be like invited, you know, just like because it would be a shit ton of work to even set that up and even like travel and transport it. But it would be so satisfying to like just show it, you know, to be like, here it is. And I remember an older BotCon, which I was not at, but I saw the photos of it. And this is what kind of made me want to start going, is someone had every single G1 toy in box, sealed, and every variant of them like on a display. And it was like 8 or 9 tables long, just in a stack like behind the table. And when I say every variant, you know, stuff like the aerial bots without the bug for like a free movie poster on it, and the ones with that, you know, like that's and this might have something to do with like my variant madness for MISB stuff, but like you'll never see that again. But it was there that year and just that year, and someone was showing it off, and I want to see more of that stuff. Like that stuff is cool, but I think it's difficult to like procure or get someone motivated to even do it.
Well, the thing that's like, honestly, I feel like the thing that's even hard with that is because, I mean, I could see us doing something like that. But then you also have to worry about, like, you have to have someone watching the space constantly too, because unfortunately, you know, people are going to, you know, whatever could happen potentially at the show. And so that's the other thing too with that is because I know, you know, like at TFCon they show off some of the third party, you know, stuff, and they always have to have people, you know, watching people to make sure that nothing happens to that stuff. So
it is difficult.
You're talking about some stuff like that where it's a mint in box collection, and that sort of upheaval of the collection can damage some of those things. So that would be that would be scary, I think, for folks who have that kind of collection.
That could be kind of a cool art contest, though. Like if you did like a thing where people submitted their best display piece, and then like attendees voted on it throughout the convention. Like they went through like a little, like they do at some like anime conventions, they do like a little art show where people will sell some of their art, but then they'll also have a contest within it, and you'll just submit, like you walk through the art gallery and you submit your favorite to vote on it. That would be kind of a cool thing to do, or to do that with customs.
That would actually be pretty fun to do. Yeah, to do something like your best custom or your best piece, your biggest oof.
that was a piece of BotCon as well. Like there was an art contest and a custom thing, and people would vote on it through the day, and then I think the winners got either like free set of exclusives, or they got a free trip the next year, a free Primus package the next year or something. So again, another kind of like time forgotten aspect that, like, yeah, you could totally do that. Like, why not? And I think it grows over time.
And that's something when you look at like the comic book convention, just list of comic book conventions has grown so much, and for these conventions to differentiate themselves has become harder and harder to do, especially you have some on the same weekend. So what C2E2 started doing was they started doing this international cosplay convention. I'm sorry, cosplay contest. And so last year, the one that won it was an amazing Soundwave costume, by the way. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. That thing is insanely nice looking. But that was something that they started to do to sort of bring attention to themselves and differentiate themselves from, they couldn't be San Diego. They couldn't be New York Comic Con, but like, what could they do to make themselves sort of a highlight on the calendar, other than being, the big convention in, the third largest city in the country and the largest one in the Midwest.
And I think you should take what I said to heart and make a crazy KO table. Just like
as an art piece.
The horrors of Transformers.
Oh, that would be fun. There you go, Anna. I might, if you want to do that, we could talk to you about setting up another table of weird Anna stuff.
I would seriously make an art piece KO table. Don't put it past me, Lucas. You'll regret it.
Yeah, but if you became the number one convention for Transformers customs in the country, like that's something you could make a mark for yourself.
Yeah, if you had like $1,000 prize or something. I mean, I don't know. You like you kind of almost have to outdo everybody else. But whatever. We shouldn't be probably giving away all our secrets.
Yeah, right.
Business success live.
Just wait for TFYLP Con 2030.
Oh, hey Anna, did Ron was wondering, the people that made some custom toys for we discussed about TFCon LA, did those people are they coming to TF-Expo by any chance? Do you know?
I think you had them 1 year, right? Who made the tar mask? You did have them one.
Yeah, I know that they were there the last TF Expo.
I don't know if they'll be there.
I don't know whether or not they're coming for this year or not. We'll find out. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not in charge of the vendors either, so I don't.
What are you in charge of?
I'm not in charge of
hype man, but he's really awkward.
You're just the hype dude.
What is it you say you do here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really do a whole lot, Paul. So
he gives them exclusive access to the TFYLP podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That ain't nothing. I'm a people person.
What was I going to say? Oh, but Expo does get good artists, Ellie. People like they get some really fun people. Like there's a few local folks who make like keychains and other like really fun art stuff that usually, they usually haunt the anime cons, but when they come out for Expo, they bring Transformers related stuff, and some of it's really cool and relatively unique. So it can be really cool to just, see that kind of stuff, but also get a chance at it, because you just normally don't know where to look for that stuff, other than digging through Etsy. It's cool to have those chances.
Well, if you ever want to have a start to finish Japanese masterpiece mint and sealed box collection on display in the back corner, you just let me know, Lucas.
All right, there you go. Bring it down from Chicago. We'll host.
I'll get my happy ass down there.
Yeah, isn't it already in Iowa?
Yeah, there you go. Stop in.
That's not any closer.
So
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the convention season. Unfortunately, I can't make it to TF-Expo, but I'll be at TFCon Chicago this year. TFCon Chicago is, I don't know what the show will be. It's been 4 years since we've had it. So it's hard to say what the show will be. Last year TFCon Baltimore was a lot of fun. So hopefully TFCon Chicago will bring kind of that same group of folks and same energy out there.
I think it'll be great. Like I'm expecting it to be great, and we'll be there, so we'll make a good time of
it. Anna and I will be there. So, but I was gonna say, if you are interested in going to the show and are looking at buying tickets, they are on the website at tfexpo.net. So there should be information on booking your hotel room, at getting tickets, and it has information on the various ticket packages as well. So and also, if you want to be a vendor or an artist at the show too, there's information for vendors and artist booths. So
the how reasonable are the tables? Like, what's the situation?
Oh gosh, I don't know off the top of my head.
I know how much the tables cost. The tables cost cost $100 for a table.
Artist tables are $40, and the
Vendor
exhibitor
tables
booths are
$100.
$100, which gets you
two passes,
an 8x8 space with one 6-inch table and 2 dealer badges.
A 6-inch table only.
6-foot table.
Sorry, 6 foot.
What table, Lucas?
6 foot, whatever.
You get to display one transformer.
It's to scale with your toys.
Yes.
Everyone's just got like this giant tower of transformers. Like, I only have 6 inches of floor space to work with here, people. If you want some from the bottom, come back on Sunday.
So the basic ticket. So Randall was asking, what's the day of ticket price? So for the weekend, the basic ticket package is $20. I'm not sure what the one, like, so say if you were only going to come Friday or only going to come Saturday, I am not 100% sure what that price is going to be. So
just scare them away and say it's $20. So like, you might as well buy the full thing.
Right. There you go. So I think maybe 15. I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm making that up because
it costs more to go for a single day than 2. So just buy the full package.
There you go.
Don't put me in charge of financing, or that's the kind of deals I'll be spewing to people.
I'm actually really excited for the Friday stuff this year because I've never been able to attend the Friday evening nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I can, so it should be nonsense.
What kind? Do you get sleep on Friday between running the show, Lucas? Like,
he shouldn't. That's not right for a showrunner.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right. What happens from like 2 to 5 a.m.? Like, you just sit there and like freak out because the next day's coming.
No, I sleep, Paul.
Oh.
So. Yeah.
Chill, Luke. Cool, hey, Luke.
It's not quite as crazy as TFCon for me, so a little bit different crazy, I guess.
If you come, Paul, you can host the first ever Expo room party.
Oh, I would love that.
You would do it.
Energon mimosas.
My brain is having a really difficult time comprehending that 4th of July is not that far away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I feel like it was just April. So
Yeah, these things have come up fast. Next thing we know, it'll be October and we'll be in Chicago. Well, you guys are always in Chicago.
Yeah, it's June 13th. Yeah, oh my God. My brain doesn't understand that. Where I'm in mid-June.
The room party?
What?
Apparently we have to have a room party in order to get Zeldron to come for Friday night, Lucas.
Oh, there you go. All right, Paul. Sorry, you got to come down too.
Shit.
So
I can pretend to host a room party.
I mean,
I'll have like a can of soda.
Just coming down for a room party sounds like enough to get me to come.
there you go. There you go. So,
the real reason I can't do it is because the next weekend I'm going down to Nashville. So I can't do like 2 fun weekends in a row.
Why not?
Garrett,
no, you
stop.
write it off as a business expense.
No,
You say, I'm sorry, I wish I could, but I have to make
You can talk about that after the show, Paul.
Yeah, I can't do that because my I don't want to get divorced.
If one weekend of fun is the difference in I think probably a lot of people have said that, right?
Yeah.
So just to bring the kid with you, and then you can dress her up for the costume contest and you'll be fine.
Actually, maybe I could swing that. I don't know how much fun I would have. I don't think we'll be hosting any room parties if that's the case.
It'll be fine.
Dress her up as Bumblebee.
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
host the room party if it'll get you there, Paul. It'll be amazing. I know how to throw a party, not at all.
I would love to see Anna's version of a party.
I've tried a couple times. It was real bad.
We'll make it work. Yeah, this sounds great. I mean, you guys are doing it right. You've done it many years in a row. I really wish that the event would have happened on the 10th anniversary. It's a real shame that, the world didn't let that happen. Because I was all packed up and ready to go. I had it all planned out. Sergio was going to be my booth bitch, and we were going to mosey on down. It's a real shame I can't make it. But everyone should go. If you are in the vicinity, if you're anywhere near this, if you're within 4 hours or even more, you should go. Because, a lot of people put this together to make it good.
It's going to be fun, and attendance is not expensive. Coming for the regular, paying for the normal pass.
Right.
I think DairyCon is at least $20. And this is a different level of convention than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah.
DairyCon. I figured out what DairyCon is. DairyCon is a Transformers-based flea market. Yeah,
that's it. They have their own events. They have their own little unique, kitschy events like the ones we've been talking about, but they're an acquired taste for sure. This is an organized effort putting your experience first, not the showrunner's experience first. That's maybe the difference there.
One of the really cool things about Expo to me has always been I feel like the showrunners easily transform into attendees in mid-sentence because they just get excited about stuff and they all interact with everybody, and there's just nothing pretentious about Expo. And I hate pretentiousness, so it's very appealing to me to just kind of be able to be a part of everything. There's no lines.
Yeah, it's fans doing stuff for fans, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I really like that kind of stuff. It makes it a lot more fun. When there starts being lines, it's just not as fun.
Yeah, when you start getting told you can't go in because you don't have the right badge, I'm like, but I'm just going in with my friends. We're not. I'm helping them set up. So yeah.
We'll do.
Am I doing a panel this year, Lucas?
I think so. I told them that. I told them to add you to the schedule. I'll confirm that. Schedule hasn't posted yet, Anna. So, do you have a title for your panel that you've put a lot of effort into so far?
Yeah, it'll be KOs across the years. I'll just talk about knockoffs.
There you go. It's exciting. Now,
I'll
will
come
you
with
talk
J
about
Balvin.
the difference between a knockoff and third party?
Oh, come on. That's like baby stuff. We're going to get a lot deeper in that. We're going to talk about different degrees of oversizing.
How dangerous is the plastic on some of these? We're going to taste it and find out.
A knockoff plastic taste test.
Tastes like burn.
My
Yeah,
tongue,
like
my
the
tongue
volunteer.
turned blue.
That is
Just say
not actually what I'll do, I swear.
You can call it this: knockout, knockoffs, and knocked up. The 3 KOs. The 3K. No, you don't want 3 Ks. Never mind. This is all awful.
That joke
Anna's
just kept going
Anna's
more and
happy
more
time.
downhill. That joke just gained speed as it went downhill.
I did like the knocked up part because I do have a toy baby carriage transformer.
Oh my god!
Oh boy.
What? I can supply.
You have you should get the Micromaster Rodimus and have Optimus Prime pushing around the Micromaster Rodimus in that.
I usually have an IC with another RC toy in the baby carriage when I display it.
Okay.
The whole story
Why don't you just do a presentation on that toy?
on IC.
Yes.
I thought about doing just like women in Transformers and talking a lot about that and the Windblade debacle. All my favorite topics.
The Windblade debacle?
Yeah, the model kit. You remember whenever I get all up in arms about the model kit and her tushy?
Yeah.
She has a good tushy.
I thought there was something else beside that. No, I got
Oh no, I can make up more.
All right. Well, was there anything else that we want to touch on? I think we kind of went over everything for TF-Expo. So, again, if you want more information, go to TFExpo.net. Online, you can get tickets there. Show is going to be July 1st and 2nd in Kansas City, Missouri. Well, right outside Kansas City. Should be a fun time.
I have never not had fun at TF-Expo. Rainy endorsement.
And all the information Lucas doesn't know will be at tfexpo.net. So go there for the final word.
And it guarantees you'll have fun or your money back.
No.
Oh, your money! I don't think I want my name on that.
So. All right, well, I guess that's it then. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thanks to everyone in the chat tonight. Thanks to Zaldron. Thanks to Ron. Thanks to Catherine. Thanks to Jose earlier. And then thank you to Lord Nexus.
Lord Nexus.
So, yeah, thanks, guys, for participating in the chat. Thanks for having us. And I guess we'll see you Thursday night for the, I don't know what we're doing on Microcasters, but, yeah.
I can talk about those cassettes I was showing off. Those things are fantastic.
Some mainline toy you made Anna buy that she's going to be selling at her booth at TFCon.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry, TF-Expo.
Good idea.
So, all right, well, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.